been a pretty rough week in the market. I'm not even gonna cap you. But doing the next back test again. So we come to the market again, and price is still within the same area. So we see that on the highest time frame, which is our 3 hour, price pushed, created this low, created this high. We've been dealing with this same range all week, really since towards the end of last week. We go to our 15 minute. So we go to the 1 hour to get 15 minute structure. All right. Let's catch this up. Set 4, 5, 6. So what do we see? So price is still within this range. Price pushed up here, pulled back. We did get a push off of the zone, which we thought would have been headed here to break, right? Giving us a continuation. Well, it got here and rejected. Looks like it's pushing down. Again, that still doesn't guarantee it's going to push down. It can still do anything. It can still push up and break the high and give us new structure, or it can attempt to break below. But what we do know for the last 3 days, last 3 days, in our last three sessions, price has been stuck within this 1 hour structure area. So typically, I don't really like that too much, especially not on the 1 hour. On the 3 hour higher time frame, I can see that being something where we have a couple days or even a week where price is within that range if there has been a big push. But when it comes to the 1 hour structure, like you got to think, it's 24 candles in a day. 1 hour candles in a day. For it to be stuck within this 1 hour structure for 3 days, like that's kind of a lot. That's a lot. But we still gonna do our analysis. We did take trades today. Again, we had another rough day in the market. We took 2 L's, but we're gonna go through the setup, the process, everything to how we got to the point of taking our trades and why we took the trades that we did. So, main thing focusing on, we see the push, we see the push off for a continuation. So now we're really just kind of up in the air. We are in a space where price can do anything, right? Because it's already fulfilled its obligations that I'm expecting when price is here. It gave us an impulse, gave retrace, gave a push off here. We were expecting it to break and give us new structure, but it didn't. So it could be reversing to the downside, reversing to push down through this zone, or it could just be coming to get an extra push to push through. We don't know. So, but I'm going to focus on this current market structure and see what that is on the 10 minute. Let's go down, see what this is. So on the 10 minute, we see selling structure, right? So we see price created a high here, a low here, then it broke this high, so a low here and a high here, and then from this low, it just pushed straight through all the way down. So this is going to be our 10 minute low. And this is my 10 minute supply. So again, this is a very, very, very large supply zone to have. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and draw my fib and see if it is at least at the 50%. And it is not at the 50%. But another thing I want to do is also check to see if there's any gaps in the market. So the first thing I see is there's a gap right here, and it hasn't been filled. So I'm going to put it at the top of this gap right there. I'm comfortable with that. So now if price pulls back to this area, I'm looking for a 10-minute confirmation to sell off. As far as 10-minute structure goes, though, let's go. So we started here with this high. Price impulse to the downside, and it's starting a retracement. So I wouldn't be surprised to see 5-minute structure moving to the upside, looking to make its way to this zone to sell off. But again, we don't know, so we're just going to go to the 5-minute and see. All right, so looking here, boom, very similar to what we said, right? So we see price push down to here, pull back. This is the high, this is the low. Boom, it broke through. Let's see where it broke though. Five-minute. So this didn't break. It just broke through right here. And this is actually something that I missed in my lifetime trading. So that could have changed my trading up altogether. So it broke here and then pushed. And I'll tell you what I did in my trading. I jumped the gun, I'll be real. And I was looking down here and I looked at this as a pullback. So I was looking at a high here, and that high really wasn't even there. So let's kind of go through it the correct way and see what happened. And then I'll kind of mention the way that I went through it. Because this messes up all of everything. So let's just go through it the correct way. So we have a low here. For the 5 minute, it never broke and started pushing. So what we do know, though, is that we have a 5 minute supply sitting right here. Are there any gaps in the market? There's a small gap right here, so I will pull it up. And I know this is more than 50%. Alright, so let's get some candles in. Boom. So we're immediately testing this 5 minute. Let's see what price does. Gives us a rejection candle right there at the top. So the first thing I want to do, see about a move right here. So we're at 5.5, 6.5, that's 13.5 as far as our profit target. So let's see if we get entered first before we set it up completely. Boom, we are entered. So what I need to do is get my 75%. So 13.5 times 0.75. That means at the 10 pip mark, which I don't know where that is, but I'm going to calculate it. So at the 10 pip mark, which that's close enough, that's where it's considered a winner. So put my partial there. And now we're just going to go down to the 2 minute, see if there's any managing structure. There is a zone right here, but nothing really yet to manage it. So let's see what happens. Let's get some candles. Let's see what market does. Okay, it pushes back up. Pushes right back down. So we are still in this. Boom. We got a big push to the downside. There is definitely going to be manageable structure here. So actually we see 2 minute was right here with the high here. A high that was never broken, but it did just break this low. So technically all of this is 2 minute structure. But I'm just going to pull it back to this little area right here. So this is the last part that I could see price testing or testing off of to push off. So this protects me a little bit. It still doesn't give me a super duper clean like area to cut my loss early, but it does definitely give me an area where price could react to. So let's go and see if structure changes. We immediately get a pullback. Let's go to the 2 minute, because on the 2 minute that means a low has been solidified. So when price crosses that low, I know that new structure has been formed. So let's keep going. Let's see what's next. Boom. Boom. So it's testing off of it. Push. Push. All right, so we know that our actual stop loss is a pip above. So let's go 6.5. Okay, that still technically wicked us out. So we're going to say we took an L on this first one. However, we took an L on that first one, but what do we see? Price never closed above, created another bearish confirmation. So yes, I was stopped out of that one, but we're just going to look to hop right back in because of, and now we're just adjusting our structure. So this is 11 pip, which means to the downside, we are actually going to be looking for 24.5. 24.5. Perfect. This partial is going to end up being down here somewhere if we get entered. So let's just say if we get entered. Immediate entry. So 24.5 times 0.75. So it's going to be right around 18 pip mark. 18 pips. That's where we're considered a winner. And then go back to our 24.5, right? And now we want to let the market run. See a nice push. Hold on. Now again, this area, right? So you got to remember, it looks like we got stopped out, but remember, I add the extra pip. So it shows 11 on TradingView, but on my actual trading platform, my stop loss is at 12. So with it at 12, it would have got close, but it didn't stop me out. And then it ended up reversing down. So let's see. Let's go to our 2 minute. Is there any real structure? Boom. Yes, there's one little zone right here. Minute. So this gives me an opportunity to close early. So I already took one full loss. This gives me the opportunity to close early if price breaks above there. But it's also close to my winning level. So we're just going to see where price goes first. Boom. So that means we are in retracement phase. So I'm not going to draw a low because I see this, technically this partial area is my low. We got to push. Now we have to go to the 2 minute. Boom. We got to push off, but no close. So it came here, wicked, and then pushed off. So that's good. Let's see next couple candles. See what we get. Push to the downside. Push to the downside. Now we are in winning territory. So no matter what, this trade is a winner. We will not let it go to losing point. So structure. There's no real structure here because it pushed down, made this the low, pulled back, created a new one. So technically the zone would be all the way up here, basically in the same area that it is now. So if price starts to reverse and do weird things around this area, I'm going to go ahead and get out to secure my win. But I still am going to give it the opportunity to potentially go through TP. So let's give it a candle. Immediately pushes through. So we have the option to close our trade, which that is what we're going to do because we pushed into a higher time frame demand. If it was just open space here, I would have looked for new structure, which there is no new structure. So I would have just took my 1 to 2 either way. So today there was actually one win and one loss available and recognizable. And yeah, this is what the market should have been. This would have been our 2 trades. Loss on the first one and took a dub on the second one. So this is what was actually available. So now let me go back and I want to show you guys what I actually did. Because, and it's just to show that, you know, nobody's perfect in the market. Like, everybody will make mistakes. Everybody will have bad days. Everybody will jump the gun sometimes. Sometimes mentally you're just not there and it messes with everything. So looking at the market the way I do, I should have had a win today. But guess what? I took 2 losses. And I'm going to go all the way back and I'm going to backtest and show you how I ended up taking my 2 losses. And basically I learned from today. I learned a big lesson today. Like, be sure I'm taking my time. Be sure I'm marking up price appropriately. So let's go back to the beginning of structure. I actually got into the market when price was like right here. Okay. So me, when I was going through structure, I was rushing it. On the 10 minute, everything else, like the 10 minute, 1 hour was all the same. The 5 minute is where I messed myself up. So price was pushing here, it pulled back, and I considered this a break. I don't know how, I just rushed it, and I considered this candle here a break. When we sit it here, we clearly see it never broke. It didn't break till this candle, but I seen this little low in a pullback. So what I did was I drew a zone here, and when price broke here, I considered it a change of character, right? So for me, I drew from this high down a demand zone that should have never been there and should have never truly been there because true structure was still downtrending. And this is just an example, and I'm gonna go through it fully just to show, because this is an example of where sometimes it's not your edge that's messing you up. Sometimes it's your analysis. If your analysis is wrong or rushed and you miss something, or you force something that wasn't really there, then guess what happens? Now all the trades you're taking, all the trades you're looking to take are messed up because the zone that you have is in the wrong area. So let me continue to go through. The first thing I do see is, so we can put our little thing here. Let's see if it goes up any higher. Okay, so this is the high. We looking at this 50% area. I see there's a small gap here. So I'm cool with it being close because of the gap and where that gap is. And then I put my high here. So we seen how the first time through, when I first did the back test, if I would have done it correctly, I would have been just looking at price testing this supply zone that was formed up here. However, because I rushed it and missed it and said this was the new high, now I'm looking at an uptrending move, which again, that's why taking your time with your analysis is so important, because it's not like this uptrending move doesn't make sense, right? Why does it make sense? Because the 10-minute just impulsed. So it makes sense that, oh, this would be moving up, so we're looking for a retracement to this zone. So that's why I say take your time with your analysis, because a wrong zone, a wrong move in your analysis is not that it doesn't make sense, but it can stop you from getting a win, from making your profit for the day. I should have been more patient and noticed that, hey, this wasn't a break and pullback. This was just a simple break, because this candle never broke. So regardless of it pulling back here, that doesn't mean nothing. It didn't break till this candle, which means from this candle down is a push, and this should have been 5-minute downtrending and looking to continue to ride it down. But let's go through it as I did. So we'll continue through structure, right? So we see this and we know we're only entering them for two reasons. If price makes it to the 10-minute, we're looking to enter off of it as a sell. If price reaches here, we're looking to buy up. So let's go through one and see it never broke. So this was the first confirmation that I got. So I see this candle and I'm looking to buy off of it. We got 9.5 here, which is 10.5. So I'm looking at 21.5 as far as our TP. And I'm not going to draw like the 75% and stuff like that, because we already did that on the last one. This is just me going through how my mistake in my analysis. This is just to show you guys, sorry for the stuttering and stuff. This is just to show how a mistake in my analysis changed the whole trading day for me and had me on the wrong side of moves and losing money, when there was actually opportunity for me to be on the right side had I just taken my time with my analysis. So let's see if this triggers entry. Nope, it didn't trigger entry, so we would need a whole nother confirmation candle. Boom, so we get a confirmation candle here. Yes, it's away from the zone, but again, my stop loss is going to be underneath all this structure, so I'm not too concerned with it as long as price keeps pushing. So this is 9, 10, so we're looking at 20.5 for our TP. Boom. This one actually did trigger entry. This one triggered entry on my, because of the spreads. It actually did trigger entry here, even though it doesn't look like it, I know. But I'm just giving you guys a rundown. In my actual account, this triggered entry. So I was in the trade here. This didn't stop me out, but hey, it would have triggered right here either way. Had we waited for this confirmation candle and got in above here, we would have been triggered in. So let's see how that played out. Pushed. 2-minute, no real structure to manage price on here. So we're just letting it run until we see if it can push further. Let's see what happens. Boom, we get stopped out. So that was my actual first trade. Now again, because my management was wrong, I'm not going back to see, hey, has price broken structure? Because technically, by the way that I analyzed it, price is still up moving. It hasn't broke the high and it hasn't broke the low, so I have no reason to be looking for anything different. Now I'm just looking for another confirmation candle, because for me, Because I have it as an uptrend, I'm just thinking, okay, price did barely touch the zone and push off. Now let's see if it just wants to push deeper. So let's see if we get a confirmation. Boom, it went down, but it didn't break or close. Perfect, we got a confirmation candle here. So this was my second trade. And I took the bottom. So I took the long 15.5 to protect myself. And this is what? 32 point, well, 16.5, so it's 33.5. Boom, so you see we got wicked in. Price pushed up, wicked us in, and then started pushing to the downside. Let's see what it did. It didn't break this. It didn't break below the 5 minute yet, so I had no reason to exit early. And the very next candle stopped me out. So that was the two trades that I took. So when I came to the market saying, oh, it was a rough day, I don't look over my session. This is me looking over my session. So my session just finished up at around 9 o'clock. It's only 9:55 when I'm making this video. So I just now am reviewing it to see that, oh snap, I actually made a mistake in my analysis. And that's why my trades came out the way they did. I still would have took one loss, but I would have got one win because my market structure would have been made correctly with the supply right here versus me creating a demand right here because I rushed through structure and I rushed through my analysis. So these are the two trades I took. I actually took two full losses today because of the way I had set up market structure. So the lesson that I learned today was make sure I'm taking my time. Make sure I'm taking my time. Why make sure I'm taking my time? Because when you're not taking your time and you're just rushing through market structure, right? This is exactly what I was doing. I was just rushing through looking for push, pull, push, pull, push. Oh, this pushed, pull, pushed. And I didn't even take the time, take the 1 or 2 seconds that it would have took me to say, okay, this was the low. Let me draw on this low so I can actually see where price broke. Oh, price broke right here. So this doesn't mean anything. It starts from here. And then had I had done that, I would have had the correct supply. Had I had the correct supply, I would have entered here. Had I had the correct supply, I would have been entered in here, gotten stopped out, right? But hop right back in. Well, this one probably wouldn't have stopped me out. This one would have stopped me out. And then hop right back in and been able to catch a dub. So for me, this is just an example to slow down. So in my trading journal, guess what I wrote down? Or guess what I'm writing down currently as I'm speaking to you guys? Take my time with my analysis. All right, so the exact thing I wrote down in my trading journal just now is take my time with my analysis. Drawing the wrong zone can mess up everything from that point. And I just showed you guys an example of that being true, right? This is what market structure should have looked like. And that would have, I would have took one little loss because of liquidity grab, but then I would have been able to hop back in and capitalize on the win. Because I had the wrong zone, right? Because I had the wrong zone, guess how that messed up everything else from there, right? Because it's not like the two trades I took in the wrong direction were bad. No, they followed my edge. We got a confirmation, we got a push, boom, we got a confirmation, we got a push. So the two trades that I took were good trades. What makes them bad trades is because they were against actual market structure. And that part comes from my analysis being wrong. Because my analysis was wrong, it made what actually was two good trade entries bad trades. So that's an example. When you don't take your time with your analysis and you mess up on your analysis, that sets you up for failure the whole rest of your trading session. And another thing is just sometimes taking a look back, checking yourself. And maybe if I would have checked myself once or twice during my session, I would have noticed this point right here a lot sooner. But for me, once I said it, I kind of never looked back over it. I just trusted what I had done. And now when I'm going over it and back testing it, I see where my mistake was made. So, I mean, I'm not getting mad. I'm not getting upset. Nothing like that. This is part of the game. I'm at a point now where my psychology is really good, really tight. I understand what trading is and what the occupation I signed up for is. And I understand that some days silly mistakes like this are going to cost me money. But I'm going to learn from this mistake, put a plan of action into place, and make sure I don't lose money from this same silly mistake again. That's all it is about trading. Trade, learn, apply what you learn, continue to trade, and you're growing as a trader just from doing that over and over. Of course, in the beginning stages, you got to find a strategy that works for you, get your mindset together, retrade it in the zone a few times, take a few losses, lose a couple thousands, how much ever money you're able to put in the market, lose a good amount of money. And then you get to a point where you trust your strategy, and now you're just learning from experience. You go into the market, you take trades, you learn from the trades you took that went your way, you learn from the trades that didn't go your way, and you implement the things that you're learning the very next day, and you're just at a continual growth part. There's never a point where you're like, oh, I have trading completely figured out, I'm no longer learning anything. Even the best traders will tell you that it's a continual learning process. You might be killing the market this week, this month, but you show up tomorrow, you make a mistake, and now you have to learn from that mistake and apply that to your trading the next day so that you're not making the same mistake. You guys are getting to see live that I just caught myself where I made a mistake today. I learned from that mistake, and I implemented that into my journal, and that's going to be on my mind today. That's going to be on my mind tomorrow when I show up to the market. Hey, make sure I take my time, make sure I just take that extra second to actually draw the lines of structure and follow it to make sure that my structure is done accordingly. Now that's going to be an actual part of my analysis process, because before I could just do it with my eyes. I hold the little cursor over it, but clearly holding the cursor over it didn't stop me from creating the wrong market structure today. So now I'm going to draw the actual line, the solid line, just so it cannot move. Because what will happen sometimes is like I'll sit it here, but then while I'm looking at the candle, my cursor will move up, and then I'm looking at it like, oh, maybe that is a break, when the reality is that never was a break. But hey, if this shows you anything, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be super upset with yourself about making mistakes. There's always going to be another opportunity in the market. I'm not upset about. Am I a little frustrated? I mean, the tiniest bit, but I'm frustrated because it's like, dang, a winning trade was available. If anybody's been following my back testing session for the week, I haven't caught a win this week at all. And this is like the second mistake I made. So yesterday I made a mistake where I didn't follow my 2 candle push rule. So 2 candle push rule is just where when it breaks structure, it has to push on a second candle. So like an example of that would be here. You see how this is a low? So this candle broke, which is one break, and this candle push, which is the second push. Because it gave us that second push, now I can draw my supply zone for structure. Now, if it would have just broke and then immediately pulled back, I would have still followed the structure of here to wherever the high it would have created, but I wouldn't have drawn a zone for it, because that is what I consider congested market structure. And trading congested market structure is just not a good idea. I've learned that it's very low probability. So I didn't follow that rule yesterday, and it got me taken out of a trade early. I mean, I did get out for a very, very small loss, but after the fact, I noticed that I didn't follow my 2 candle push rule. So now on my whiteboard right here by my trading desk, I have 2 candle push rule, 75% partial, and now I'm going to have take time with market structure, draw market structure and follow it, so that now when I show up tomorrow, I'm good. But I haven't got a win yet this week, and this is the second win that has made itself available to me that I just wasn't able to perceive for whatever the reason, right? Today it was because of impatience. Yesterday it was because of 2 candle push rule. But I implementing both of them into it so that I'm best prepared tomorrow. Does that mean I'm going to win tomorrow? No, but it means that I'm damn sure not gonna make this mistake with the two candle push rule tomorrow, and I'm damn sure not gonna make a mistake with market structure tomorrow, because those are going to be two major focuses, because those are two hard lessons I had to learn by losing money today. And that's the thing about the market. In real life, when people start businesses or take on, learn something new, their losses don't come in the form of finances. Their losses might come in the form of, hey, they lose a customer, or hey, you take a test on something and you get it wrong, but you can retake the test, right? In the market, when you're wrong, you're just losing money. So that's why it can make people a lot more emotional. But the longer you do it, the less emotional you'll become. And once you can disconnect that emotions, that's where it really opens you up to learn. And that's where I'm at. I'm in a position where the losses don't affect me no more. I understand that if I make a mistake, I'm going to lose money, and I'm okay with that. What I'm focused on is the actual lessons that are there to be learned. Had I not went over, and it's funny, I was a little frustrated when I did it, when I had this happen, when I took the two losses, and I kind of just glanced over and was like, oh, it was two good trades. The market faked me out. I don't even want to make another video today about me losing, bro. That'd be 3 days in a row. But guess what? Me saying, you know what? No, I said I was going to make the video every day after my session. Let me do it just to review my trades to make sure I made the best trading decision. Me actually showing up and doing the video like I said actually made me realize that the market didn't fake me out. The market didn't do anything to me. The market actually presented me a very clean opportunity. I'm the one who made the mistake. I'm the one who actually made the mistake. And a lot of times, if you analyze your trading, you'll realize the market really ain't doing shit to you. It's really you. Something with you mentally, something that you missed, something you didn't catch, something you didn't perceive. And that's what messed you up. So this is just an example today. Like, I'm grateful that I showed up. I'm grateful that I did take the trades I did, because it taught me a valuable lesson. Take your time with your analysis. Had I took my time with my analysis, I would have had this supply there, and I'd have been able to catch this sale to the downside. So, hey, we're going to show up tomorrow. Make sure that this same mistake doesn't happen again. Hopefully, market has broken out of this structure that it's stuck in on the 1 hour. By the way it's looking, I wouldn't be surprised to see it break to the downside, but it could just get an extra boost and push to the upside. But I don't want to see it stuck within this range for 4 days in a row. I hope tomorrow I'm trading outside of here or outside of here. But if we're stuck in between there, that's okay too. I'm going to take whatever trades are available to me based on my analysis. So, yeah. We take these, we learn, and we continue to move on. So, yeah, I'll show back up tomorrow and see what lessons there are to learn, or what wins I'm able to take advantage of and execute on. All right. Peace.